And one thing I learned very early on was that you've got to enjoy that journey. So I always put that spin on anything I'm doing. You know, if there's something that I think, oh, you know, I don't really want to do this, or, you know, I'm going to say, right, what am I going to learn out of it? Let's enjoy this process. So that's the first step, which is that whoever we are, whatever we are, we're going to cheer up. There are so many challenges we could focus on. There are so many difficulties that we could highlight. But no, first of all, put yourself into the right mode, a mode of joy that will enable you to enjoy your journey and also to get through to your chosen destination.
Everything we know how to do in life could actually be transformed into money for us. I think we need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Anything we know how to do can be transformed into money for us. Okay, now let me spend some few seconds there to talk about this. What is business? Business is all about value. In that you do something for somebody else, you add value to somebody else, and that person give you an exchange of value, which is money. Now, what you do is not really money, is you are adding value to people. What if through your writing, you could tell story that will inspire other people? That is value.
It's something that I had to learn, and just through the methodology, as you say, of putting up a book, someone's marriage can be saved. Someone's life can be healed. Somebody can be delivered, set free. Somebody else is looking to set up their own business. How did you do it? Oh, I'm going to read this book by Napoleon Hill. Oh, I'm going to read this volume, and found out how they did. And I've always been an avid reader of books from a very young age.
Thank you for checking out this video. Are you getting enough value from it? You see, this video was created for the purpose of adding value to you. So if this video make any sense to you, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested in understanding what you take away from this video and if it makes sense to you, so we can provide more. Now let's return to the video.
So my name is Gervis Mensah. I am indeed a wife and a mother first and foremostly, but also I'm a qualified accountant, a pastor, and now an author as well. So I've been on this journey for quite a few years, and it's interesting to be able to, you know, wrap up all of this experience, looking back to my past and my childhood. And it's something that I really reflect on and think, gosh, you know, out of my upbringing, my humble beginnings, as I call them, you know, that I've been able to walk through this journey. So it's a wonderful thing to be able to reflect on your past. And, you know, I thank God for my mum and my dad from the Caribbean. So they were Windrush parents, came over here in the late 50s, 60s. My mum's from Barbados and my dad is from Grenada. And they both met over here in the UK in a place called Northampton, which is where I grew up. And the journey really starts from there.
All right. So childhood, that is what you mentioned there in your explanation. Tell me more about that. Take us there. What do you remember about your growing up in the UK?
Okay. So a great childhood, I'm telling you. It was a combination of, you know, the fact that my parents were from the Caribbean. So we had fun, we had times of, you know, growth, we had family around us as well. I've got an older brother, his name is Lincoln, and he's a musician. And so we were surrounded by a lot of music. And of course, I'm from a church background as well. But there was a strong emphasis on hard work. You know, my dad, he was in the leather industry. Northampton's well known for leather. And he worked in that industry. And my mum is a psychiatric nurse. She's now retired, but you can guess, right? A lot of our background came, you know, from the fact that we've got these two parents. They were working. They wanted the very best for their children, you know, and they had come from countries, you know, Barbados. Both of these are lovely Caribbean islands, but there was opportunity for them, and they wanted us as well, myself and my brother, to really press into those opportunities. So it's interesting that my brother, a really skilled musician, he went down that pathway, and it was good watching him as his little sister, encouraging him, and then thinking, what is it that I want to do? And I ended up in the field of finance. I've been working in financial services for over 30 years now. So a really interesting combination when you look at it. But childhood was wonderful because we had opportunities. We had a time and period to connect with our family as well. We've got family all over the UK. And obviously we had times to go back home. So, you had a really good balance there to look and see. And that really strongly motivated me, thinking about my forefathers, thinking about what they would have gone through, and the fact that now I'm living in this moment of opportunity. So I don't want to mess it up. I want to be able to honor, the legacy that's been handed down to me, so that really propelled me to go out there and take up opportunities that were presented to me. And I remember, because obviously, with an older brother, it's good to be able to watch their journey. And I watched my brother going off to London. So he went off to study in a really prestigious academy, the Royal Academy of Music, to further his piano. And I remember as his sister going up there, staying with him, he'd show me around London. And I was like, wow, when it comes to my time, I want to come up and study in London. And that's exactly what happened, right? He used to take me out. He used to jump on the red buses, the London buses, and all the stuff that he had learned. He, used to take me and show me Madame Tussauds, all the landmarks, right? And even as children, we were privileged that our parents would take us up there. And so I think that's where my love of London really came from, because I really enjoyed that city. And I thought, what, when I get an opportunity, I want to come up. And that's what I did. I came and studied in London. And that's, where another part of my journey takes on from there.
That's interesting. That's so lovely. That is full of memory. I can see a lot of flowers all over there. That's lovely. All right. So tell me, what were you projecting for yourself as you were growing up as a young adolescent there? Okay, you are having all these experiences now, moving to London. Of course, you are able to study now. Tell me, what were you?
Well, I wanted to, I suppose one of the things that I always looked at as, as a Black person growing up in the UK, I wanted to be able to set a trend for people that were coming behind me, my own children that, obviously hadn't come forth then, but also other young Black people to know that, yes, it's possible. So for me, I went off and studied a degree in maths, and that was probably a first in the family. And it was about, well, how far can we push this? We've got skills and abilities. And if an opportunity is created, I wanted to be able to step in to that opportunity. And, back in those days, yes, there was times where you would see racism. I, remember a very vivid story. I wanted a Saturday job, and it was in one of these sort of hardware-ish stores. And I decided, okay, I've seen that they're advertising some work. So I went in and I said, oh, can I speak to the manager? And I'd spoken to my parents, but, how do you do this stuff? And they said, right, go and talk to the manager. So I went in there and I said, is there any work? So the manager or the person there said, no, sorry, we have actually filled those roles. So I thought, oh, that's a bit strange. So I came back home, and I was one of those kind of people that I wasn't going to let go. So I phoned up. And they said, no, there is jobs. So I said, well, I was in the store earlier and someone told me that there were no jobs. So then they apologized. And obviously I kind of realized what had happened there. And then they called me in for an interview at that stage. So I had tasted, what it is, that somebody might look at the color of your skin and decide that, oh, you cannot have that opportunity. So I was very aware of that, but I didn't want that to dominate my narrative. So at all times, going through life, going through opportunities, it was a matter of take the opportunity and do what you can with it and push it to the max and get, experience, wisdom, knowledge out of all of these, and that was one thing that I really enjoyed about my journey of youth, into adulthood, was the ability to take up some of these opportunities and also to be bold and let people know that, I'm not backing down, because I know that I have skills. I've got a lot to learn, but I want to stretch out, and I want to ensure that, that I am going to take up this opportunity. If it's there for others, I want a piece of the cake as well.
What is good for others is good for you too.
That's right. Yeah.
I like
and
that.
I suppose I was fortunate in a way, because there was, somebody gave me a very small clipping of a newspaper, and it was called the Windsor Fellowship. And now this was actually some sort of sponsorship that was there for people of ethnic minorities. And what it meant for me was that when I was at university, I got an opportunity to go away to be trained for 3-4 days at a time, but also to get some work experience. So from a very early...
Hi, and thank you for checking out this short clip from Obehi Podcast. I'm Obehi Ewanfo, the host of the Obehi Podcast. This short clip was created from a full episode where we dive deep into this conversation. To see the entire video, all you need to do is to click on the link in the description of this video. Now, while you are there, I want to share something with you quickly. Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur? Do you want to cut across the noise and attract the right audience, leveraging the power of storytelling? Now pay attention. I'm currently working on a signature program to help you own your story and stand out for the competition. It's a 5-step journey to help reshape your professional and business narrative so you can drive success and stand out in the competition. And in less than 90 days. The link is what you see on your screen, academy.aclasses.org/story. Now, this is what we have understood. Storytelling is the most powerful instrument that is known to man. And this is what this could mean to you. You could either choose to own your story and leverage it to amplify your message and whatever you represent in this world, or some other person could own that story. The choice is yours. So why don't take advantage of your story and use it wherever you are, whether you are in business environment or you are a professional individual who want to be able to build your influence and leave a legacy behind because you represent something. You are owning your story. You are somebody whose story is important. So the choice again is yours. Now let's get started with this short clip.